and welcome. I'm Andrea Moorhead Allen, and I'm your host for the 2021 NCAA Legacy Award Program. This year, we are honoring pioneers, trailblazers, activists, and civic icons who have really been advocates for diversity, equity, inclusion, and unity in their careers and local communities. We continue to experience one of the most challenging times in history as the nation deals with injustices and the pandemic with a distinct impact in the sports world. But with intentional conversations, there's a lot of hope for greater understanding and unity. And now with vaccines available, we are hopefully rounding the corner with COVID-19. This year, we honor 8 individuals virtually who hail from this year's Final Four cities: Indianapolis on the men's side and San Antonio on the women's side. We also keep in mind the losses and, of course, the many challenges over the last year. We come together to recognize these 8 honorees who have really taken strides to make their communities and the world a better place for everyone. And now, I would like to introduce NCAA President Mark Emmert.
Well, thank you, Andrea, and thank you very much for taking time from your incredibly busy schedule to MC this event tonight. It means a great deal to all of us. The NCAA Legacy Program is really one of our premier programs that we do around the men's and women's Final Fours, and allows us to have a chance to recognize and frankly hold up as exemplars the men and women in these 2 communities who do so much, not just for their local communities, but provide us with the kind of leadership and guidance and examples that we want our student athletes to see. And for these 8 individuals we're recognizing tonight, we've truly got some pretty special folks. They're people that, as Andrea said, have been trailblazers and leaders in all manner of ways, in all fields, athletic and otherwise, in their communities and well beyond. And so, we get a chance to honor them and recognize them and learn a bit about them. And for me, these 8 people, Clarissa Davis WRIGHTSIL and Dr. Virginia CAINE and Becky Hammond, Pastor Jeffrey Johnson Sr., Dr. STACEY Johnson, FLOYD Keith, Major General Angie Salinas, and Greg Porter. When you learn their backgrounds and when you get to know these people, you know that these are folks that are more than worthy of any adoration we can provide for them. This event also gives us a chance to show off some of our student athletes from both the Indianapolis and the San Antonio communities. We love to get a chance to show off our students and to have them get to interact with people of this caliber to see what they too can do in their lives and the opportunities that are in front of them and the people that have broken the paths and laid the groundwork for their success going forward. And we're going to get to hear from them too. And that, I think, also makes this a very special event. And on behalf of the NCAA, especially to these 2 communities, San Antonio and Indianapolis, I can't say enough. We've had to struggle through some awfully difficult things this year. And it's not just been the pandemic, it's been also all of the issues around social justice and inclusion that we've been wrestling with and we continue to wrestle with. And to be able to go into these 2 communities and work with leaders like these that we're honoring tonight and be able to pull off our championships and provide opportunities for the student athletes, it's something very, very special. And we cannot extend enough appreciation for what they have done and the opportunities that has been provided for the students. And for the student athletes themselves, this has been an amazing year. It's tested the resilience and the patience and the fortitude of all of our athletes, just simply to get through the year and compete as an athlete, let alone to be able to participate in a championship. And so for me, it's really special that we have athletes here today to do the introductions and to serve as participants in this great event. So with that, Andrea, let me turn it back over to you, and I look forward to hearing more about all of these great honorees.
Thank you so much, President Emmert, for your leadership. And again, thank you for that wonderful introduction. And now I would like to introduce NCAA Senior Vice President for Inclusion, Education, and Community Engagement, Dr. Derek Gragg, for further remarks.
Thank you, Andrea. Greetings and congratulations to our legacy awardees on being recognized for your outstanding work and service. You are true role models for our student athletes who are very important. As a former student athlete, I've always been an advocate for the student athletes, our 2 championship cities, and our entire association. When the NCAA arrives in a Final Four community, we want to leave a positive footprint that lasts long after the championship and our eventual departure. The NCAA Legacy Program honors individuals who many times don't get recognized for all that they've done to make their local community better around sports, marginalized and diverse populations, and ultimately for everyone. San Antonio and Indianapolis are 2 of the most well-respected cities that have welcomed our student athletes and who have embraced the NCAA and its fan base over the years. To our 8 honorees, again, I thank you and commend you for your work and your continued efforts. Inclusion is so very important to the fabric of our association, and we push each day to better ourselves as well as to help others understand that inclusion truly matters. The pandemic has brought us together this year to honor you as a group virtually, which is a first. So I'm hoping that at some point we'll have an opportunity to meet. I can just tell everyone out there watching, I've had a chance to talk to all of these individuals, an outstanding group of people. So thanks again for all you do. Now I'll turn it back over to Andrea.
Dr. Greg, thank you so very much. We appreciate your time and your words. So let's get started with the individual tributes. I will ask a question to each honoree to help familiarize ourselves with them as well as their vast accomplishments. Tonight, our student athletes will also lead a portion of the program. And joining us is Tyler Vitt, football student athlete at Texas Tech, who is currently working towards his MBA. Also, Alexis Faith, a women's swimming and diving student athlete from Butler University in Indianapolis, majoring in elementary and special education. Also, Carrington Donald, a women's basketball student athlete at the University of Texas, San Antonio, who majors in computer science. Gianni Catenacci, men's soccer student athlete at Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis, majoring in finance and international studies. Well, we're ready to go. Our first honoree, Clarissa Davis WRIGHTSIL, being introduced by Tyler Vitt.
Clarissa Davis WRIGHTSIL is a San Antonio native, a tremendously accomplished women's basketball player, and an impactful community leader. Davis WRIGHTSIL attended the University of Texas, where her team won 124 games while losing only 10 in 4 years, with 2 Final Four appearances and a 1986 national championship. A 2-time All-American for Texas, Davis WRIGHTSIL earned the Naismith Trophy in 1987 and 1989. She went on to complete a successful career in professional basketball in Europe, Asia, and the WNBA, while also winning gold with USA Basketball. Davis earned the front office roles with the San Antonio Spurs and San Antonio Silver Stars before becoming a collegiate coach. She created Team Express in 2000, a nonprofit. Through Team Express, she has mentored and helped 150 female high school student athletes receive athletic scholarships to NCAA institutions. She continues to leave a legacy helping young athletes achieve their dreams within sports in her community and state. Congratulations, Clarissa Davis WRIGHTSIL.
Clarissa, you founded Team Express, a nonprofit that helped, as we heard, 150 girls in San Antonio and the surrounding area secure basketball scholarships. And you also spearheaded efforts that brought WNBA franchise to San Antonio as the chief operating officer for the Silver Stars. Please talk a little bit about the importance of mentorship and how sports can really impact today's girls as well as women.
Well, my motto is you're blessed to be a blessing. And I think that's the first and foremost thing that I took with me. I had people that came before me and they led the way for me and they gave me a vision of what could be. And so I took it upon myself as a professional athlete at the time to start Team Express and teach the girls what I learned, not just at the high school level, but I was trying to prepare them for what it would be like to be at the collegiate level. Everything from film, game film, to studying their opponents. So they could see and be able to model what it's like. And so there would be no surprises when they get to college. As far as the women, we now have the opportunity to work in the front office, to play, to be behind the camera. So be the accountant, the comptroller for the WNBA franchise. So being someone that would spearhead efforts to bring in jobs, to create opportunities for young girls who would otherwise not have an opportunity to go to college, I take that as a big honor, and I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for the honor, and I'm very appreciative.
Clarissa Davis WRIGHTSIL, thank you so much. And again, thanks for your leadership and your mentorship for young girls and women around the nation and around the world. We appreciate you. Again, congratulations. Our next honoree tonight is Dr. Virginia CAINE, being introduced by Gianni Catenacci.
Dr. Virginia CAINE has played a key role in the Indianapolis community for many years, working tirelessly to promote and advance public health through innovative programs and unprecedented collaborations. Dr. CAINE has dedicated her career to protecting and improving the health of Marion County, the state of Indiana, and the nation. She currently serves as the Director and Chief Medical Officer for the Marion County Public Health Department and as an Associate Professor of Medicine in the Infectious Disease Division of the Indiana University School of Medicine. She has also led comprehensive studies to increase the overall health of children within the city of Indianapolis. As a practicing physician, Dr. CAINE helps train, mentor, and promote medical students and encourages their participation in clinical trials. She has also been a mentor for young minority health professionals. Additionally, she has served as a trusted resource nationally throughout the ongoing pandemic, meeting with the CDC and government leaders to direct Indiana's COVID response. Congratulations, Dr. Virginia CAINE.
Congratulations, Dr. CAINE. Thank you so much, Tyler. And Dr. CAINE, perhaps one of the most impactful moments in your entire career has really been leading the city of Indianapolis through this pandemic, through COVID-19. How has this challenge really affected your leadership to ensure that there is equity in healthcare, equity for everyone?
So first, let me thank you to the NCAA for this incredible recognition, especially among these amazing honorees. But I have to acknowledge just the outstanding employees of the Marion County Public Health Department with a supportive board of directors and our critical community partners for working extremely hard to make this city safe. I would not be here today without the people who shaped me. I think the people who instilled in me the values of confidence, character, and leadership, and who first taught me the importance of fairness and equality. So I gotta thank my parents, Dr. Rufus and Virgil CAINE, my brother, Dr. Rufus CAINE Jr., and my sister, Miss Florence CAINE, my college basketball and tennis coach, Coach Gretchen Kohler from Gustavus Adolphus College, and my mentors, Dr. King Holmes, Dr. Robert Jones, and Dr. Frank Johnson, and a great colleague, Dr. Paul Haverson, founding dean of the IU School of Fairbanks School of Public Health. Equity in healthcare, particularly in public health, has always been at the forefront of my work. But I think we're all aware of the disparities that have grown and the gaps of services that have been exposed as a result of this COVID-19 pandemic. For our city to continue its recovery from this crisis, every neighborhood has got to be uplifted. Every community must have equal access to the vaccine and crucial health services, and investments must be made in public health for every resident. That's why, in partnership with our Mayor Hotsett and the City of Indy, we're launching a $1 million COVID Community Recovery Grant Program. It's why we hosted a vaccine registration hotline entirely in Spanish, with over 1,000 calls received from them in one day. And it's why we're coordinating mobile vaccine clinics in our traditionally underserved neighborhoods. So ensuring the health of communities of color and those who've been historically marginalized is one of the most important tasks of a public health department. And I'm proud to lead a department that does just that. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Dr. Virginia CAINE. Again, congratulations to you. And thank you for your confidence, as you mentioned, the character and your leadership in making sure that we are promoting inclusion and diversity in the healthcare system. Thank you so much. And again, congratulations. Next tonight, our next honoree is Becky Hammond, being introduced by Carrington Donald.
Becky Hammond is a staple in the San Antonio community, serving in her 6th season as an assistant head coach with the San Antonio Spurs. The former 3-time All-American at Colorado State, Hammond received the Naismith Award in 1999 and was named the Colorado Sportswoman of the Year, leading the team to a 33-3 record. She went on to a successful WNBA career with the New York Liberty and San Antonio Stars. She is a 6-time WNBA All-Star and captained both teams throughout her storied tenure. Hammond is the first woman hired as a full-time assistant coach in any of the 4 major sports, the first woman to be interviewed for a head coaching job in the NBA, and the first woman to serve as acting head coach during an NBA game last December. She continues to give back through her engagement in San Antonio, teaching and inspiring through her public speaking on topics of teamwork, equality, and social change. Congratulations, Becky Hammond.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, Becky Hammond is not available tonight, but she was able to accept her honor via video message. Again, as assistant coach with the San Antonio Spurs, Becky really is a trailblazer in the sports industry. And we asked Becky about who inspired her growing up and to also share advice about how to accomplish your goals.
Hello, everyone, and I hope everyone is having a great evening tonight. I'm sorry that I was not able to attend this live event. We have a game tonight, but I did want to take a moment to thank the NCAA for this award, congratulate the other award winners, and just say how proud I am to be a part of such a distinguished list of honorees and award winners. The NCAA has always been forward-thinking when it comes to diversity and equality, and so for me to have this award speaks volumes. Here, the tournament is in San Antonio, so it's kind of near and dear to my heart, and it always has been. Growing up as a little girl in South Dakota, I recall asking my dad if I was ever going to play in the NBA, and he told me no. But if you're really, really good, you can get a college scholarship. And I remember having these conversations with my dad in South Dakota, and I was always a gym rat, and I remember having posters of Michael Jordan and all these great male athletes, but not one female. The first time I really became aware of, the NCAA was in 1993. My dad told me I needed to watch a woman named Cheryl Swoops who played for Texas Tech University. And he said, they're calling this girl the female Michael Jordan. And I think from that point on, I wanted to be a Division I basketball player. I ended up going to Colorado State, where we were able to go to the NCAA tournament 3 years out of my 4, and even my senior year being able to host. And I just always cherish those memories. There's nothing like college sports. I mean, I could tell you I've played professionally for 16 years. I'm now in the NBA for 7 years, and there's nothing like March Madness. So I'm so thrilled to be a part of this group, and considered to be a pioneer. It's a tremendous honor for me, and I know it's been a trail for me that always hasn't been clear and smooth, and I think that's part of the beauty of it all. I've had a lot of successes and a lot of failures and disappointments and injuries and different things that got me on this path to where I'm sitting now. And for people that maybe want to come up and get into the coaching business, or they want to be a professional player, or whatever it might be, my greatest advice to those people is to take care of your today. Whatever opportunities you have today that sit in front of you, I would just say to grab onto those, make the most of those, and then tomorrow you'll have other opportunities. But if you don't take care of today, it's really hard to get through to tomorrow. And I know that speaks volumes in my own life. I was just going about my business, being a professional basketball player, being active in my community, reaching out across different lines maybe in the community, whether that be with young girls or young boys, and trying to make an impact there. And I had no idea that there was a coach on the NBA side watching me named Greg Popovich that had been observing me, unbeknownst to myself, for 8 years here as a player. And I think just taking care of my business as a player obviously gave him insight to who I was. He did his homework, and then it kind of led to me getting the opportunity with the Spurs. But it all started with taking care of my today. And so, again, congratulations to all the award winners, and everybody have fun. Stay safe.
Thank you so much, Becky. And again, we appreciate you. Congratulations. And for all of us, remember to take care of your today. She truly is the epitome that all things are possible if you just believe in yourself. Again, congratulations to Becky Hammond. Our next honoree is Pastor Jeffrey A. Johnson, Sr., being introduced by Alexis Faith.
Pastor Jeffrey A. Johnson, Sr., the senior pastor of Eastern Star Church, grew up in Arlington Woods in Indianapolis. In his 33 years as a senior pastor, he has spearheaded its growth to become the largest predominantly African American community church in Indiana, growing to over 17,000 members across 3 locations. Eastern Star has also earned a reputation as one of the most giving churches in the country. Pastor Johnson has made a tremendous impact on his community this year through his extensive efforts to provide COVID relief to the Indianapolis area. He has created transformative change through the Rock the Initiative, which focuses on improved education and affordable housing options to people in the 46218 zip code in Indianapolis. He's involved in providing opportunities for community members through sports, financial education, counseling, and more. Congratulations, Pastor Jeffrey A. Johnson Sr.
Congratulations, Pastor Johnson. You know, you've done so much for the Indianapolis community in terms of, as we heard about, the Rock Initiative, community engagements, and ministering to congregations at several satellite locations across the city. Provide us with some inspirational words of how each and every one of us can do more so that we can uplift those who are in need and really contribute to the positive change in our own communities.
Well, first of all, let me say thank you to Alexis for introducing me tonight, and congratulations as you continue to move forward in life. And thank you to the NCAA. This is really a great opportunity for me, and I appreciate you all highlighting some of the things that the Eastern Star Church and the Rock Initiative are doing from Indianapolis and in the Arlington Woods community here. And I know some of these honorees, and I've heard of all of these honorees, so I'm humbled to be a part of this. One of the things at Eastern Star Church we talk about, we have this relationship with God through his son, Jesus Christ, even as we're celebrating his resurrection for coming up this weekend. But one of the things we talk about is having a social expression of faith. It's not just you getting right and then doing nothing, but because you've gotten right, now it's time to express that faith in a social way. So the Rock Initiative is about renewing our community for the kingdom, enhancing a community, providing access and opportunity to people, whether it's with food or sports, as you mentioned, or with education and so many other areas, housing, that affordable housing that we talk about and we provide. And so collaborations have really been significant and important to the success of the Rock Initiative. We collaborate with the community itself, those residents who live in the community, participating in their own enhancement, and along with educators and businesses. And we see some of the public officials who are being honored tonight. I've had the privilege of working with some of them for years. And then, of course, just the people of faith in our church. And so you talk about inspiring somebody to participate in community. One of the things my mentor, Dr. A. Lewis Patterson Jr. used to say was, you have to start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Because you cannot start where you are not. You cannot use what you do not have, and you cannot do what you cannot do. So just start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And I'm a living witness that God can do some wonderful, incredible, miraculous things with your life that'll make a difference with others. So finally, let me say what my good friends, Dr. Frederick Douglass Haynes III always says, as that when you overcome, then help somebody else to come on over. Whatever successes I've had in life, it's because somebody else poured into my life and I've been able to overcome. So now I'm trying to help others to come on over. And I just encourage everybody to do the same. Again, thank you for thinking about Eastern Star Church and the Rock Initiative and myself. We appreciate it very much. We're honored.
Congratulations, Pastor Jeffrey Johnson, and for encouraging all of us to have that social expression of faith. Congratulations to you. Tonight, next is Dr. Stacey Johnson, our next honoree, being introduced by Tyler Vitt.
Dr. Stacey Johnson has had a transformational 35-year career in education following her athletic days as one of the most accomplished fencers in U.S. history. Dr. Johnson won 2 NCAA national championship individual titles, 3 U.S. national team championships, and was selected to the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. She continued her impact on the Olympic movement as the president of the U.S. Fencing Association, chair of the Women's Fencing Council for the International Federation of Fencing, and was an executive committee member of the U.S. Olympic Committee Board of Directors. Dr. Johnson pivoted to the higher education space, serving as the president of the Valencia College East and Winter Park campuses. Under her leadership, the Peace and Justice Institute was created to foster a strong relationship between the community and the campus. She has invested her energy in enhancing the youth sports experience in San Antonio and continues to impact the elementary school system in the city. Congratulations, Dr. Stacey Johnson.
Congratulations, Dr. Johnson. You know, as a leader in promoting the sport of fencing, share some specifics about the work that you have done to really elevate women within this sport.
I will. And thank you, Tyler, for a great introduction. I want to thank the NCAA for this fantastic award and also congratulate all of the other Legacy Award winners this evening. And Andrea, thanks for the question. My work has come in two major areas, really. First, equity for women on the playing field. And second, creating more governance opportunities for women worldwide. The first area, bringing equity to the playing field, was to advance the idea and then subsequent policies that women should and could compete in all three disciplines or weapons in fencing, which is foil, épée, and saber. When I was competing from the 70s to about the mid-80s, women were only allowed to compete in foil. And from where I sat, that was blatantly unfair. And the rationales used to prevent women's access were pretty silly back then. The épée was too heavy, women might get injured fencing saber. And so to really make these changes, I believed that I needed to get involved and to model the way forward. So in the late 1980s, I started by serving as an athlete rep, and then I became one of the very first international women referees. And from there, I ran for and was elected vice president for our sport in 92. And by the 1996 Atlanta Games, we successfully brought women's épée onto the Olympic program. In 2000, then, I ran and was elected president of USA Fencing and became the first woman to hold a 4-year term. And my very first focus was to recruit the most diverse executive team in the history of our sport. And that executive team, in turn, created an international campaign to get women's saber on the Olympic program in 2004. And we won that vote by a margin of only 7 votes out of 140 countries. So that was pretty close, but women did fence saber in the Athens Olympics. And the U.S. women won gold and bronze, and it was the first Olympic medals for U.S. women in 100 years. And so to close, the second area of influence has been securing more international governance positions for women throughout the world. The International Fencing Federation created a Women in Fencing Council, and I was elected to chair that council. And for the last 9 years, we have been fighting to pass legislation against an administration that didn't want to see it succeed, by the way, to move the requisite representation from 20 to 30%. And we won that vote this past November. So that kind of gives you a feel for the trajectory and taking the bite out of the elephant piece by piece to help move things forward.
Congratulations, Stacey Johnson, and thank you for really modeling and paving the way forward for women. We so appreciate all of your leadership. And again, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Our next honoree is Floyd Keith, being introduced by Alexis Faith.
Floyd Keith has accumulated 45 years of service and expertise in high-level management in the sports world. Currently, he is the CEO of Planned Positive Attitude, which consults with businesses in the realm of professional development, diversity, and inclusion. Before his current role, he was executive director of the Black Coaches and Administrators Organization. Mr. Keith also coached college football for 30 years at the Division I level and remains inextricably linked to the college sports. He spearheaded the development and execution of the NCAA BCA Achieving Coaching Excellence program for college basketball coaches. He has led efforts of equitable hiring practices and received national honors as a coach and trailblazer for his commitment to enhancing inclusivity in the athletics landscape. Congratulations, Floyd Keith.
Congratulations, Mr. Keith. You know, you've really had a storied career as a coach and administrator of the Black Coaches Association, and you've also made such a huge positive difference with student athlete development as well. Talk to us briefly about the impact and really the importance of diversity and inclusion within today's society.
Thank you very much, Andrea, and Alexis, thank you for that introduction. I'll send you the check for all that good stuff that you said about me. And first of all, I want to thank the NCAA and Dr. Emmert, Dr. Gregg, and the committee for giving me this award and nominating me for this. And I am truly humbled and to be among the other recipients of this award is truly an experience. So truly appreciate it. The impact and importance of diversity and inclusion in today's landscape can never or has never been more at the forefront. I think America's demographics are changing daily. The United States Census Bureau projects that the United States will become a majority minority nation for the first time by 2043. Let's clarify some terms. Equity is an approach that ensures everyone has access to the same opportunities. We don't all start from the same place because advantages and barriers exist. Equity is a process that acknowledges uneven starting places and seeks to correct the imbalance. Diversity and inclusion are both outcomes. Diversity relates to the demographic percentage, while inclusion ensures a representative place at the decision-making table. Any diversity, equity, and inclusion mission statement should consist of a commitment to programming to ensure that all people with marginalized identities have the opportunity to grow, contribute, and develop within the organization. Additionally, we should provide and enable programming and education which sustains foundations of a diverse and inclusive culture across all dimensions of diversity, which includes but is not limited to age, race, sex, class, national origin, creed, educational background, religion, gender identification, disability, gender expression, and sexual orientation. As I have strived to do throughout my career, each of us should stand up for justice and never block its path with regards to this topic. Thank you again for this honor.
I love that. Stand up for justice and never block its path. Thank you so much, Floyd Keith, for really ensuring that everyone has access to the same opportunities, which is what inclusion and diversity are all about. Again, congratulations to you. And our final honoree from San Antonio is Major General Angie Salinas, being introduced by Carrington Dunn.
Born in Alice, Texas, Major General Angie Salinas blazed a trail for women in the military before continuing her impact in Southwest Texas. General Salinas enlisted in 1974, quickly making history as the first Latina promoted to the general officer ranks in the U.S. Marine Corps. Her career in the Marine Corps spanned 39 years, where she became the first woman to command a recruiting district and compiled military decorations for her service. She retired in 2013 as the longest serving and highest ranking female officer and the most senior ranking Hispanic in the Marine Corps. After her military retirement, she became CEO of the Girl Scouts of Southwest Texas, serving 20,000 scouts and members in San Antonio. She sits on local boards dedicated to community growth and engagement and has been honored with several awards for her impact in the San Antonio area. She remains involved in the sports world through the I Play After School program and the local organizing committee with the NCAA. Congratulations, Major General Angie Salinas.
Major General Angie Salinas, you have been a decorated leader in the military throughout your career, and your service is truly commendable. Again, thank you for your service. Talk about your commitment to service and how that really has impacted your engagement with the Southwest Texas community there.
Well, first off, let me just say thank you, Carrington. Oh my gosh, I'm just so humbled, and I really would like to congratulate the 7 honorees that I'm sharing this platform this evening, because you've made an indelible mark in their communities, and you serve as incredible role models for both the old and the young. I'd like to also just take a moment and express my deepest appreciation to the San Antonio Local Organizing Committee for their incredible efforts and the success in this unimaginable environment. And of course, to the NCAA for this humbling recognition. You know, my 39 years as a United States Marine was never my plan when I was a 20-year-old sophomore. But I will tell you the simple words of, I do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, coupled with a transformation from citizen to Marine, probably ignited this passion in me to serve something greater than myself. Joining legions of everyday men and women who've unselfishly served our country in both war and peace, who return to the communities as better citizens, is really my inspiration to continue to serve, which led me actually to our Girl Scouts. You know, I spent my 39 years wearing the cloth of my nation, and now I get to be with an organization where every single Girl Scout wears a flag on her vest or her sash. I had to be 19 years old to raise my hand to say an oath, and now I get to be with girls that are as young as 5 who recite, "On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country," who will grow up to be engaged leaders, not only on an NCAA basketball team, but in all our communities as well. So I just want to say that I'm honored to be part of the Southwest Texas community who's risen to the challenges that we faced, demonstrating resiliency, commitment, and really the courage to make a difference. So again, I'm so humbled for this recognition, and I want to say that I want to accept this on behalf of our entire community. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and congratulations again, Major General Salinas, for your commitment as well as your courage and, of course, your leadership. We appreciate it. And our final honoree from Indianapolis is Greg Porter, being introduced by Gianni Catenacci.
Greg Porter is a member of the 122nd Indiana General Assembly and is serving his 14th term for the 96th Indiana House District in Indianapolis. Throughout his career, Porter has held many leadership roles at the state and national levels, including president of the National Black Caucus of State Legislators, the NAACP, No Child Left Behind, and much more. He has authored legislation on K-12 education, cultural competency, and anti-bullying. A native of Indianapolis, Porter plays a key role in many community/neighborhood-based organizations in the Indianapolis area. He leads with the best interest of the city and state's people in mind, advancing educational opportunities, healthcare development, and equality for Indiana residents. Congratulations, Greg Porter.
Thank you very much, Gianni.
Congratulations, Mr. Porter. You know, you've received so many acknowledgments and honors throughout your entire storied career. Transcendent changes in our community that really are built on the foundation of people who were in positions such as yourself, especially in the legislature. In your role, how have you worked to enact meaningful and positive change in the community for really the betterment of all of us?
Thank you very much for that question, Ms. Moorhead. I would venture to say this is, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mom and my God to help navigate this world for us. We are in interesting times. And I think the whole point about it is that we had to build coalitions in the 21st century. No matter where we are, you can't do it alone. When you want to have social justice, which we've seen in the last few months, it wasn't 4 or 5 people. It was hundreds and thousands of people across this city, this state, and this nation. And that's what we have to do in the General Assembly. It's called collaboration, it's called coordination, and helping to believe in each other. We have worked hard to build those bridges that are out there between the cultures of the 92 counties that we have and throughout the United States, which I think is very important. Inclusion and diversity cannot happen if we don't come together and understand the individuals that we work with and who they are. We have to bring people together. We have to lift up individuals that may be down and not take them and educate them and say, come on, we can do this together. We have to reach back and bring someone forward. We have to reach down and pull someone up. We have to take the talents that the individuals have and bring them together. That's what we have to do in the General Assembly. And even these days, it's very difficult because, people do still have their own agenda. But I put my faith in my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, that I know these are extraordinary times. We are extraordinary people as being honored tonight, and we will continue to create that pipeline of opportunity, of engagement, of social justice, of inclusion, because that's the fabric of America. That's the fabric of Indiana. That's the fabric of, again, these United States and the NCAA.
Correct, Porter. So well said. Thank you so very much. And again, congratulations to you. And thank you for reminding all of us that coordination and collaboration by all, for all, that is social justice, that is inclusion, that is diversity. Again, congratulations to all of you, our 2021 NCAA Legacy Award honorees. Congratulations. And now some final remarks from Dr. Derek Gregg.
Thank you. I think everyone will agree that this program has been inspirational and motivational, to say the least. Again, I say thank you, and I applaud all of our honorees for their fabulous work and your impact and the impact you've made in your communities. I'm looking forward to being in San Antonio over the weekend and getting a chance to meet a couple of you personally. I also want to thank our staff, Dee Dee Merritt, Ashley Caldwell, Gail Dent, Tiana Myers, our producer, Tony, and everyone else at the NCAA office who had something to do with this program. And certainly have to thank our MC, Andrea Moorhead, again, for her work and her assistance in making this program special. Best wishes to everyone as we move forward in what we hope will be a more inclusive and healthy year. And now I'll turn it back over to Andrew.
Dr. Gregg, thank you so very much. Again, congratulations to the 2021 NCAA Legacy honorees. And thank you as well to our fabulous student athletes tonight. We thank you so much for your leadership, your inspiration, and your role modeling. Your future depends on you. We're counting on you. Thank you again so much. I'm Andrea Moorhead. Thank you all so much for allowing me to serve as your host tonight. Such an honor and such a blessing for me. Please stay safe and enjoy this year's NCAA men's and women's Final Fours. Take care.